All right. Hello again, Avengers, and welcome to another exciting to the daily vlog. This is daily vlog number 171, and I needed a drink. All right, so today, uh, we, we got to talk about that Nintendo Direct. Specifically, man, there were so many. I'm actually going to look up because there was just so much stuff that was announced. So, okay, cool. So I just want to see exactly what... No, you're not helping me. Curses! Alright, so the stuff that was announced. New Mario and Luigi game was cool. But by the way, guys, I don't know if they're going to put it up on their YouTube channel, but it should be in the Zelda Universe video on demand on their the Twitch channels, twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. I did do a live react with a couple other people from This is Zelda Universe. So if you want to see my instant reaction to that, check it out over there. Otherwise, there was a couple different games that really got me excited. Like Fantasian Neo Dimension is it's a game by one of the original creators of Final Fantasy, and thus far it's been locked in the Apple Arcade, which I will never do. So having it come out of there is pretty cool. The Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake getting an announced day was super cool. And then the new stuff that got out on Nintendo Switch Online, like I've already started playing Metroid Zero Mission because it's a brilliant game. And the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is super thrilled about that. However, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is the thing that I have to talk about today because holy shit, did that one blow my mind. So if anyone is unaware, yesterday, I guess, by the time that this is going to go live, there was a Nintendo Direct, and they announced a new 2D Zelda game. And that Zelda game is called The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. And it starts off, first of all, it looks like they're using the engine, or at least the art style, from the A Link to the Past remake that they made for the Switch, which is darling and wonderful. It looks like... To me, it looks like claymation, which I love. I think the art style is just darling. And so it starts off with, you see Link coming in with his little cloak that he has from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Despite the fact that I don't believe that this is linked to those. But he comes in, throws it off. He's got his sword and shield, and he attacks Ganon, takes him out. And then Ganon's spear that he has just kind of sticks in the floor, and Link's there. And he saved the day, and Zelda's kind of waiting in a crystal for him. And then Ganon's spear starts to create this kind of void thing that sucks in Link, and Link gets a single shot off of his bow that cracks the crystal that Zelda's in, and then he disappears into the void. And then Zelda drops down, the void starts getting bigger, and she runs away, and then after running a little bit, she goes to overlook Hyrule, and the title screen appears, and you get to play as Zelda. For the first time since the CDI games that Nintendo pretends didn't happen. And it's really cool. And the main gimmick of this game, because every Zelda game has a gimmick, the main gimmick of this game is Zelda doesn't attack using a sword or a bow or anything. What she gets is this... rod of... what was it called? Rod of twinning or rod of copy? Something like that. Anyway, what it allows her to do is she can just copy objects and then replicate them. And that's how all the puzzle solving works. That's how combat works, because she can, like, one of the combat things she shows, they show, is she creates a boulder and then she picks up a boulder and just throws it at an enemy. Much like Link has done tons and tons of times, but she doesn't actually attack with this staff. And then she also has the ability to copy monsters and have them go and attack for her. And they show her using things like stacking a bunch of beds on top of each other to create like a ladder to get over a wall. And that's effectively how the game is going to work, is you're going to use this kind of pseudo-physics based creation suite to solve all of your puzzles. Which to me is fascinating. If anyone played A Link Between Worlds, it was a game that came out on the 3DS. It was the reason that I bought a 3DS, so much so that the 3DS that I own is actually a special Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds 3DS. I don't have it here. It's next to my bed because I play it when I'm lying down. But the reason I was so thrilled about it is because it was a direct sequel to A Link to the Past, which is my favorite Zelda game. And so, looking at it, the gimmick for A Link Between Worlds is Link can become a painting and basically become flat and travel along walls. And what that did for the puzzle design in A Link Between Worlds was fascinating. Because when you were on a wall, you could only move in two directions. You could move left or you could move right. And if there was an obstruction, like something coming out of the wall, it could stop you from moving. And so quite a few of the puzzles were built around this idea that they could set up a room, and as long as there was a tiny little path that you could go in against the wall, you could merge into the wall, come out somewhere else, and it turned into this really amazing, fun game. The only thing that I really didn't like about A Link Between Worlds was, I guess, two things. One, everything was done through a magic system. So you had a magic bar that would slowly refill itself. So it was more like a stamina bar than anything else. And all of your magic items, all of your items used that. So whether you were using the fire rod or your boomerang or arrows, or your bow and arrow, everything just drained that meter and you just had to wait for it to refill to use it. And that wasn't horrible, but it did change a few of the things, like bombs and arrows being things that you could pick up, and now they were just part of your magic meter. Made them not quite as interesting as they could be. And then the other thing I was less than thrilled about was the fact that you theoretically, if you went around and wasted enough time finding money, you could get all of the magic items right at the beginning before going into any dungeon, because it all worked on a rental system, and then eventually you could purchase them as well. So that I didn't really like that much, because it did mean that the kind of Metroidvania-esque aspects of the Zelda series weren't quite as defined, but it was still an amazingly wonderful game. And now Echoes of Wisdom looks like it's probably going to do the same thing with puzzle design, where your early puzzles are... I think I'm going to sneeze. Okay. Your early puzzles are going to be kind of obvious of, oh, I need to get up here, so that means I just stack things on each other until I can create a ladder. But eventually you're probably going to have puzzles that require you to use items in really unique and weird ways, and combined items that you normally wouldn't, in order to solve the puzzles. And that's the thing that excites me the most. That's one of my favorite things about playing a new Zelda game, is just having to go through all the puzzles and learning how everything works. It's kind of a similar thing in Tears of the Kingdom. Puzzle design changed massively from Breath of the Wild, simply because of the I can't remember what it's called. The ability that lets you like just go up and then go through floors. It massively changed how puzzle design worked because now, if you wanted to get somewhere high, all you needed to do was create a stack using your merge mechanic, and then go under it and just shoot to the top of it. And it massively changed how you could create puzzles because you no longer had to create a way for Link to be able to get up to higher platforms. You could just leave a bunch of material there and leave it to the player to figure out how to build this stuff. So yeah, gosh, I am so excited. Also, I think they really, really missed out on the subtitle of this game because there's so many other subtitles they could have done, like The Legend of Zelda, actually Zelda, because The Legend of Zelda you always play as Link, or The Legend of Zelda, it only took us 35 years to officially give you a way to play as Zelda, or other things like that. Like there's so many puns they could have made about, yeah, The Legend of Zelda, and you actually play as Zelda. Call it The Legend of Link, or something like that. Like there's so many funny things they could have done with that, and they just went, no, we're going to call it the Echo of Wisdom because she identifies with the Triforce of Wisdom. But yeah, overall, I am so excited to see how this game goes. If I remember correctly, I have to look. Yeah, September 26th. So we're talking, it is mid-June right now. So July, August, September, effectively. We have 3 months until Echoes of Wisdom comes out. And I am just massively excited for that. And there's other super cool things that are coming out as well, but my word, was that just massively cool and interesting and so yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for this video. I'm going to probably make at least one more video talking about the Direct because we have to talk about Metroid Prime 4. If for no other reason than one of my best friends is a massive Metroid fan. And Elias, my buddy from ZU, he was on the stream as well. It was me, Elias, and the head of marketing for ZU, Mary. And so we're all sitting there, and when they do the final thing, we see, the dates, and all of us kind of, like, I think Elias figured it out first. He's like, Metroid? And then the rest of us are like, wait, what? And then we watched the Metroid Prime 4 trailer, and it's, oh man, it looked amazing. It just, wow, everything about it looked cool. So yeah, I'm probably going to do a separate video on that sometime because I've got to talk about Metroid Prime. I still haven't finished Metroid Prime 1. And I have it on my Switch. I just keep putting it off. So don't tell Elias. But yeah, and then I need to get they need to put Metroid Prime 2 and 3 on the Switch. Because I've played and I've beaten Prime 3 a bunch of times. Because I bought it for my Wii U, my Wii, not Wii U. When I first got my Wii, one of the games I got with it was Metroid Prime 3. And I loved it. Metroid Prime 3 was so much fun. So anyway, that's all for me today. I hope you guys are excited about this new Zelda game. In 3 months. The fact that nobody leaked this one, that's impressive. So yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm going to play the hell out of that game. Like, seriously. 2D Zelda is my jam. Don't get me wrong, 3D Zelda is great. Tears of the Kingdom was super fun. Breath of the Wild was super fun. Other 3D, like Ocarina of Time's great. Twilight Princess is a masterpiece. Skyward Sword is pretty good too. But 2D Zelda is my jam. It really, really is. So yeah, a new 2D Zelda where you get to play as Zelda. Also, they call it the Rod of Tri or something like that. 100%. If you watched Realms of the Wild, the first tabletop RPG that I ran for Zelda Universe, I created an object called the Rod of Restoration that the players called the Trifork. And now they have the Rod of Tri. I'm just saying, Nintendo watches my my Zelda RPG. Like that's you're welcome for this. I'm going to take entirely ownership over this because I created this super cool magic item that inspired Nintendo to create this awesome new game. So you can thank me for how awesome Echoes of Wisdom is going to be. Anyway, that's all for me today. I will see you guys in the next time. All right? Bye-bye.